Solution.
Congratulations on your success for shooting at a general. You miss me. Oh, 50, that's so 50, we on point. That's so 50. Oh, 50, that's so 50, we on point. That's so 50. Oh, 50, that's so 50, we on point. That's so 50. UNT Network, we standing our ground. It's stand on law. You don't stand down. It's the dark side. They say you can't kill us, already dead. This is UNT Network. We make the network. You fold when it's pressure. I stand on law. I'm on point with mine. We don't stand down. It's the dark side. They say you can't kill what's already dead. This is UNT Network. We make the network. You fold when it's pressure. I stand on law. I'm on point with mine. On point. Hate all you want. You thought you could stop me. Miscalculated. Stop me, what? Stop me now. You switched on me. That's a permanent separation. 50, that's so 50, we on point. That's so 50, oh, 50, that's so 50, we on point. That's so 50, oh, 50, that's so 50, we on point. That's so 50. UNT Network, we standing our ground. It's stand on law. We don't stand down. You know y'all some funny dudes now. I see why they call it the dirty sector, the dark side. But I'm the dark side general. That's so 50, we on point. That's so 50, oh, 50. That's so 50, we on point. That's so 50, oh, 50. That's so 50, we on point. That's so 50. Dedicated grind music. Dedicated grind music. They thought the game was just a race to find a single income, a lottery ticket, one lucky shot. Nah, put all your dreams in one small pot. But I was studying the bylaws, fine print. Every loophole the rich use. The law ain't just a wall, it's a floor to build upon. Stand firm on code, that's how the weak become strong. One stream's a creek, two's a flow. But I got rivers where my money go. From real estate deeds to digital cream. A silent empire and a shared dream. Not a king alone, but a network of crowns connecting downtowns to brand new towns. So when they ask, who gave you the keys? I point to my people, moving with ease. We built the door. It's us, never them. Standing on live, building our plan. It's us, never them. Networks who empires again and again. It's us, never them. Streams turn to rivers, floating the land. We are. It's us, never them. Oh. The handshake is the original contract. Mutual value, a natural fact. I don't want followers, I need partners to scale the blueprint, expand the gardens. You hold the tech, she hold the land. He moved the prodigal, the across the sand. We meet on Sundays, not just to pray, but to merge the assets, plot the way. A plethora, yeah, a beautiful flood. Diversified roots in the financial mud. So if one sector ever takes a dive, the other 7 keep the hive alive. We cite the statue, we claim our right to assemble capital by day and night. This is commerce, this is pure, a wealth machine that is secure. They see a person, we see a node, a link, a light on a golden road. We are the name. Again and again, how we win. It's us. Never them, never them. Streams turn to rivers, flooding the land. We are. It's us. Never them. Oh. To them are scattered lone wolves in the frost. One source of income, one bridge if it's lost. But us is a consortium, a holding firm, weathering every single market squirm. We stand on the bedrock of legal might. Our empire grows in the broad daylight. Check the legend, it's all above board. This is the harvest for what we sold for us. Dedicated grind music. Hey, it's us, never down. Let it go, never down. Never down. Who's on the deed? Never down. Who's on the wide? Never down. Who's on the rise? Never down. Who's on the rise? Never down.
That's a fact. That's a fact. Y'all already know, though. What's the word? Solution, solution, solution. What is the word? Y'all see what it is. We're going to talk about that good old Pooh Shiesty. It's nasty work. But we definitely got to talk about it. We definitely got to talk about it. It's ugly. We can say that. It's ugly. It is definitely ugly, people. So now they talking about he might come on. That's what they saying. He might come on. But we gonna get to it though, man. You rocking out with your boy 050BUCKS, aka Mr. Shoot Right Back, aka the Dark Side General. Appreciate y'all for pulling up. Coming to rock out with your boy for a little second. You know what I mean? I see everybody blogging about it. So I said, let me get and get my take on it. You know, I have kind of a different take than a lot of other people. You know, I try to just speak from my point of view of it, and you know, and what I see, what it is. You know, it's just sad, you know, that again, we get these people, they get where they need to be, and they just throw it all away. That's a fact. Star salute. Appreciate the pull up. Real Judge Freshly. Judge Freshy. Salute. Appreciate the pull up. Asia salute. Appreciate the pull up. Renegade Society in the building. Appreciate the pull up. Yeah, we got, you know, try to get to it. You know what I mean? Make sure y'all hit that like button, people. Please share the live. Hit the like button. Share the live. And subscribe to the channel if you haven't. You're rocking out with your boy 050BUCKS, aka Mr. Shoot Right Back. Make sure you put some pressure on that like button and that order. In that order, you dig? Today's show will be talking about Pooh Shiesty, because the story is getting better and better by the day. That's why I ain't really try to touch on it. So I said, you know what, let me give let me dedicate a whole show to this situation from my view of it all. You know what I mean? Just from my view. You know, it gets ugly. You know, the more you break it down, the more it get ugly. You know, now they saying the father could be telling, or the father was, you know, was a CI before this situation. It's just a whole bunch. I try not to talk about the situation from a factual standpoint. I just try to give y'all a breakdown from my point and what I see and what I think is going on. You know what I mean? And so far, what I see is somebody in their own way, man. You know what I mean? I can't stop saying it. You know, this is somebody that's in their own way. Try to handle it, I guess, to his knowledge, the best of his ability, with no one, you know, kind of like sitting them down and just breaking it down. You know, the pros and cons. You know what I mean? The pros and cons. You dig? So I don't know what was his pros, because obviously they didn't respect the pros. They didn't respect the pros, people. They didn't respect the pros. That's a fact. They couldn't have. They didn't even respect the cons. Because I mean, when would you tell yourself, yo, listen, we got a bag we could get, right? We ain't got to get on that rah-rah. Let's play this situation out. See how this money fall. And we go from there. I mean, that's just, to me, I would have thought it would have been common sense. That's it. That would have been common sense. Worst case scenario, give up a couple of extra ones to get out your deal. I mean, that would have been common sense to me, because now look, you mess everything up, and boy still wins. Gucci Man still go win. So it's like a lose-lose situation, the way he handled it. And again, you got Pop Dukes on the side. You would think that'd be like, all right, cool. You know, that's information that I could take to the bank. I kind of run with it. That's Pop Dukes. That's advice from Pop Dukes. You know what I mean? That's advice from Pop Dukes. So I'm still confused on even the Alphabet Boys came up with an analogy of, I guess, the father masterminded, from what I'm hearing, right? Allegedly. And then when you do the breakdown to it, if the father masterminded it, how did he get bail? I'm literally like looking at that part of the game. Like, how did he get bail? Let me tell you, people, the feds don't throw a bail out there like that. Like, you very sudden gonna get a bail from the feds. You very that you'll get a bail from the feds. That situation is not guaranteed that you will get from the feds. You know what I mean? And when you look at how this situation is breaking down, then you'll be like what AJ said. I guess he out on tail. Because there's no way it's just no way. Like, it's just no way. No. Again, back to me saying how I feel Pooh Shiesty is in his own way. It goes back to me saying that, because when you are the breadwinner, the people job around you supposed to keep you safe. That's supposed to be your safe haven. The people around you supposed to be your safe haven. You know what I mean? They the one who's supposed to kind of like, how would I put it? Second guess you. If the respect is there. But again, I'm looking at this as Pops. I'm looking at this as his Pops now. So I'm like, why is his Pops not letting him know, yo, son, listen. There's always other ways to skin a pig. I ain't even gonna say a cow, to skin a pig. You know what I mean? There's always other ways. There's always other ways to get out that contract. But when you go there and then you start doing other than trying to get out that contract, when you add allegedly robbery and all that, like that right there, just not a good look. Then they got you on camera in the state. Like, it's just, it's all over the place. And it's just so sad, yo. You know what I mean? I ain't even gonna lie to you. It's sad that you got a young man of this caliber that obviously it looked like he was back, like he never left. He coming back out here to handle his handle. He coming back out here to get to that munyan and keep winning. You know what I mean? And keep winning. Like, it's no other way around that. You can't say you don't know what it is. You just came from, like, I mean, what excuses are we going to keep using for him? We can't keep using no excuses. So now what he did, by being in his own way, he hindered somebody else's life. Yeah, I'm going to say that. He hindered somebody else's life, whether they had an opportunity to say, yo, nay or yay. This person could be in a bond, could be broke. And as long as they say, yo, listen, I give you a couple of thousand, dude gonna jump on it. So if you shiesty and you got these kind of people around you, we call them doges. Because again, a real dude is not going to sit there and let you crash out like that, knowing that they depend on you. It's just not going to happen, man. No, it's not going to happen. I don't know what happened. I don't know what took place, you know, but, you know, moving forward, now they're saying, yo, the evidence on them is kind of shaky. They ain't got no video. They just got hearsay. I mean, come on, people. Let's acting like we don't know what's going on here. Let's stop acting like that. We already know that Gucci didn't have an off-duty officer there. That ain't just like you taking anybody's word. You taking a law enforcement. He's there. Like, and he knows probably Shiesty very well. He got to be. I'm sure that he once was bodyguard guard Shiesty on the road somewhere. I'm sure that. I'm sure that. So they had to kind of like know each other. He's been around Gucci. He know who Gucci use. You know, the kind of, you know, move around the town. He knows that. So I don't even know why wouldn't he map it out, should I say? He might have, but you know, I heard somebody say, yeah, He might have just thought that Gucci Man was real and he wouldn't tell. Like, come on, man. Let's stop acting like we don't know what's going on. Gucci Man ain't got to say nothing. Gucci Man ain't got to be the one to tell. That's why he got that law enforcement, that off-duty cop as one of his bodyguards. He ain't got to do no telling. That off-duty cop is going to do what he do without looking bad. He's a law enforcement. He's a taxpaying citizen. So when I do the math to it, I'm saying, okay, well, I'm hearing him say something about, yo, it ain't no information on Shiesty and them boys due to the fact of there is lack of evidence. I may feel like, yo, you know what? They might have got a hold of that video and said, yo, listen, let's hold on to this. I'm going to hold this situation to the side and let's see if boy act right. I'm looking at it and I'm saying I don't think neither of that matters, to be real. I don't think neither of that matters. The way his situation is set up, the ankle monitor on federal parole, I do not think that would matter even if they have no video. Trust me. They had at least 30 days to pinpoint the things that they need to pinpoint. They're not going to waste their money on raiding people's houses and all that. They say nothing found in the house. I'm sure it's nothing going to be found in the houses. But they have that internet that is the number one key witness. They have the internet. Not only they have the internet, they got Pooh Shiesty there via phone. They have Pooh Shiesty there via that ankle monitor. Now, if they are calling this situation a situation, and if Pooh Shiesty giving a ping at this same location, then all the other municipal evidence that we would think would come into effect. All right, well, we got a photo of y'all at Staples. We got a letter that such and such was at Staples. So now they're gonna try to do them dirty with municipal evidence. Okay, you said you was going to the studio to record, but yet you in Staple writing a letter demanding your way out of a contract. These are the things that, you know, when you're in your own way, people, you don't think clearly, man. When you're in your own way, you just don't think clearly. You know what I mean? You think of sometime only you win. Win. I'm going to win. Whether you got no facts, no information, you ain't do your homework on an issue. Only thing you got in your mind is win, no matter what. I know with me, I'm okay with assuming. Yo, what you mean by that, Bucks? I'm okay with making an ass out of myself. Because I might be correcting myself. If I'm wrong, I take that. If I'm wrong, I take that. You know, it's always growth, man. And sometimes it don't matter how the growth come about, as long as that you can put yourself in a position where as though you can see growth. You can kind of correct your wrongs, move on, sit down, do the math to a situation, because he's going to do that anyway. Right now, he's probably back in the facility. He's probably not even at the halfway house that they had him in. He's probably at a transport or wherever they got their transport at. He's probably sitting there doing that now. He is rethinking every step that he took and probably like, yo, wow, I shouldn't have did it that way. You see how that go? You sit there, and for him, he didn't leave room to even make a mistake. Because he thought, nah, these some stand-up dudes. They ain't gonna run to the law. What do you think? They got a law enforcement working with him? What do you think? He's gonna turn the other cheek? Like, what are we talking about here? He had to know. Yo, listen. Let's say he didn't even know that the bodyguard and all that was there. Let's say he ain't even know none of that. Right? He ain't know none of that. But he had to know how Gucci Man moves. Like, that's something that he had to know. I can't just ignore that fact. Like, you had to know that. Because, like, okay, you didn't know it. Cool, right? Now you look at the situation like, wow, so you brought your men into what we call an iffy situation. Because that's an iffy situation. Now that becomes an iffy situation. You understand? That becomes an iffy situation because now you lead them into the dark. They don't even know what they're about to run into. They don't even know that. All they know is they going to get to a bag and they're going to get paid for it probably. Now these dudes don't get paid. Now they sit in the can. Probably some of them don't even got bail money. Some of them probably don't even know how they're going to get a lawyer. And it ain't too much no one can do it. Then you look around and you be like, damn. Now your mind is going crazy again because now you like, well, yo, how this nigga get a bail? How did this dude get a bail? Is what would be going through your mind. That would make sense, right? Because I know that's the first thing that I ask myself, like, yo, hold on, wait a minute. If your father got the same charges as we do, how he get a bail? And I didn't hear nothing. I'm just speculating. I didn't hear, me personally, didn't hear about the other individuals getting a bail. I didn't hear that. So I don't know if they got one. I don't know if they didn't. I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know. All I know is his father, from my standpoint, is the only one that got a bail. How is he the only one that get a bail? And like I said, those are alphabet boys. They don't throw a bell out there to, it's I'm telling you, it's things that make you say, nah, 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 nah. Things that make you go, I mean, it's only right. Either or. Either or. It's kind of start to sound like a Max B situation. I'm the mastermind behind everything. And they start asking questions. Okay, well, who was where? Who had what? Which is supposed to play into they feel. El Plaga TV in the building, a.k.a. Trey Pound 7, a.k.a. Mr. Movie, a.k.a. Paperboy TV. Salute, my guy. You know what I mean? So, for me, that's what I'm trying to figure out. I'm like, if he took one of those Max B, because he already signed. You know what I mean? Somewhat, right? From what I'm hearing, he said he was well, they saying he was. Hold on, we ain't got to speculate. We ain't got to speculate, people. We ain't got to speculate at all.
them at a Dallas record studio earlier this year. The court documents only refer to the victims by their initials. One victim, called RD, is described as the owner of the Gucci Mane. His real name is Roderick Davis. DOJ saying that the incident began with a dispute over a record contract. Fox 4 Dallas reporter David Sentendry is here with more. David, what can you tell us?
Yeah, well, I can tell you this was disguised as a traditional business meeting inside a recording studio, but then it turned into an ambush.
Gonna make you big.
Lontrell Williams Jr., a well-known rapper by the stage name Pooh Shiesty, was on house arrest for a firearms conviction related to drug trafficking when the Department of Justice says he led a group to rob and kidnap 3 people inside a Dallas recording studio back in January. The motive? So Pooh Shiesty could get out of a record contract with rapper Gucci Mane's label, the new 1017 Records.
We're not talking about low-level rappers here, guys who are trying to make it.
TMZ tells Fox 4 to let go of Pooh Shiesty would have been a financial blow to Gucci Mane's record label.
He had a lot of artists under his label, and then he made a decision that he was going to let go a lot of those artists. One of the very few, though, that he held on to happened to be Pooh Shiesty, because, again, Pooh Shiesty is somebody who's got a lot of fans. He's got hit music, and certainly somebody that Gucci Mane could be profitable.
According to a criminal complaint, Pooh Shiesty was upset with contract terms. Surveillance images show Pooh Shiesty, his father, and 7 others before they enter the studio. Once inside, Pooh Shiesty pulled what appeared to be a black AK-style pistol, pointing it at the head of a victim, labeled RD, demanding RD sign contractual release paperwork. RD complied. Gucci Mane's legal name, Roderick Davis, matches those initials.
The victims in this case came to Dallas to conduct legitimate business, and they were met with firearms and violence.
That wasn't the end of it. The feds say the group robbed the victims of expensive jewelry and cash.
One of the victims was actually choked by one of the defendants to the point of near unconsciousness.
Pooh Shiesty lives in Frisco, according to the complaint, but investigators say most of the alleged accomplices traveling from Memphis, Tennessee, were staying at a Dallas hotel the day of the ambush, including accomplice Rodney Wright Jr., a rapper.
Now, this is what I want to say.
With the stage name to Terrence Rogers, where.
Now, I want to say this. How was that audio? Was the audio good? How was that audio? Jeffrey James, salute. Appreciate the pull up. How was that audio? Did y'all hear the audio? We're going to talk about this. We're about to break that down right there. Like, that's, like, they are naming names. Like, they're naming names. Ain't nobody's, they're naming names. Who else could tell? Who else could tell? Who else was it they could tell? Like that's what I'm like. Who else could tell you what happened? And they're saying he went in a private room with RD. He went in a private room with RD. How can anybody else tell what went on in that room or what took place? So that's one of them. 2, if Gucci Mane and his bodyguards was doing a job, right? That's this thing outside the box. How did he let all them gentlemen up in there? Somebody had to, see, this is the point I'm making. Somebody had to know somebody. Because it wouldn't even went that far. Where you got guys that's coming in there in an entourage them security guards had to been okay with, all right, yo, that's Pooh and his squad, let them up. Correct? Because how did somebody know to even break this story? Yeah, well, it was RD went in a private room with Pooh Shiesty, and he allegedly had a such and such type of weapon. And how did people know that? If they said they ain't got no video, they said they ain't got no evidence, how did they know what was going on in that room when it was only RD and Shiesty? How did they know? So that's what I mean by I think he led them in. He had to. He had to. He let them boys to the darkness. He had to. I'm not even going to say it was bad planning. I just think he let those dudes to darkness. That's a fact. He let them to darkness. Word up. He let them to darkness, man. That's the only thing that I can.
Wearing a variety of jewelry believed to be stolen during the robbery, even stolen sneakers. There's also a post highlighting a large amount of cash. Footage evidence at the home of Pooh Shiesty's father, Vontrell Williams Sr. That was on Wednesday, the day most suspects were arrested.
We remain committed to investigating violent crimes like these.
So hold on. So you mean to tell me they had them already arrested when they ran in the crib and was doing all that
dare
stuff?
you.
They had him arrested before they even did the search. NoBueno.com. NoBueno.com. They had him arrested even before they did the search, people. And we could go back to another one where they breaking down who was what and who was where. Right? They got that. Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to get the joint that I had, the beginning joint. Yeah, I don't know. That joint is crazy. It's really getting wicked because they got several of see, I'm starting to read situations like Gucci Man save. You know what I'm saying? Like it's wicked, man, when you start breaking all of it down, man, because now you start you start questioning the fact of how they ain't got the video. And a lot of people were saying, that it could be Gucci Man not letting that not letting that tape out. You know what I'm saying? Because if you ask me, right? If you ask me, Gucci Man is playing chess. Gucci Man is playing chess. If you ask me. Gucci Man is playing chess, people. That's the only thing that I could come up with. Gucci playing chess. You know what I'm saying? Because like, why would he blow a situation up? Here, go right here. I got it. Why would he? You know what I'm saying? Like, because when I look at it, right, I asked the question. So is it? So is it Gucci Man not releasing that tape? Is that what's going on?
I'm Ryan Rabel. I'm the U.S. Attorney for the Northern District of Texas. Thank you for coming. This week, 9 individuals, including well-known musical artists, studio in Dallas, Texas. 8 of the 9 were arrested yesterday in Dallas, Memphis, and Nashville. These individuals who are charged and arrested include Lontrell Williams Jr., also known as Pooh Shiesty, Lontrell Williams Sr., Rodney Wright Jr., also known as Big 30, Kadarius Waters, Demarion Gibson, DeMarcus Glover, Corday Johnson, Darian McDaniel, and Terrence Rogers has not been arrested yet, but will be soon. The complaint alleges that on January 10th of this year, 3 music industry professionals traveled to Dallas for a scheduled business meeting. Lontrell Williams Jr. arranged this meeting purportedly to discuss the terms of his recording contract with one of the victims. As alleged, once these 3 men were inside the recording studio, Williams Jr. and 8 co-conspirators, several of whom traveled from Memphis, Tennessee, executed a coordinated armed takeover. As alleged, Williams Jr. produced an AK-style pistol and forced one of the victims to sign a release from the recording contract at gunpoint. The remaining conspirators displayed firearms and robbed the other victims of Rolex watches, jewelry, cash, and other high-value items. One of the victims was actually choked by one of the defendants to the point of near unconsciousness. Defendant Wright barricaded the studio door with his body to prevent the victims from escaping. The ringleader of the conspiracy, Lontrell Williams Jr., was on home confinement at the time of the offense, as alleged, for a prior firearms conspiracy charge and conviction out of the Southern District of Florida. Towards the end of his prison sentence, he had been granted home detention. Part of the terms of his home detention were that he would not commit another federal offense or possess a firearm. His father, Lontrell Williams Sr., is alleged to have helped plan and execute the federal kidnapping as charged in the complaint. And as described.
All right. So I want to break that down. So now we hear they want to report this if at least some of this wasn't kind of factual. Level Up, salute. DBN, salute. Appreciate the pull up, my guy. Cutthroat, salute. Appreciate the pull up. Yeah, people. I don't think that the grown man thought, salute, my guy. Appreciate the pull up. Jeffrey James, salute. Appreciate the pull up. So what I'm gathering, right, before we get back to the video, what I'm gathering is that how did they know that the father masterminded this? I'm confused. How did they know the father masterminded this? Like, that's what's bugging me out. Like, how did they even know how the father masterminded this, right? How did they even know who was in a room with who? Y'all sure it's only Gucci Man that's, well, Gucci Man and Gucci bodyguard. Y'all sure they the only one who running their mouth? And then the father comes home? I don't understand that. Now, let's even talk about this one. He know the stipulations, the guidelines of his release from federal prison. This is why I say he led these guys in the darkness. Because for one, why was you even there? Like, why was you even there? You didn't trust the people? Yo, Ming, salute. Hey, yo, Ming, we got the Bozo Awards popping back off too, man. Come tune in, man. Be a part of it, man. We having fun with it. So how was he even, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you know and understand, these are my stipulations, yo. Y'all know I can't be around no firearms. Y'all know I can't be in certain spots because I got this ankle monitor on. Right? All right, cool. Why was he even there? That's what I want to know. What was your reason for even being there? You and your pops is there? Like, that's a double bubble. Level up 2 times. What you hold on. Let's see what level up 2 times. I don't know what he's talking about. What's going on, 050 New York view? Because I'm confused on the Draco the Ruler. What happened with Draco the Ruler? Yeah, what happened with Draco the Ruler? But yeah, people, to me, I don't understand. Why was he there? Like, if you got guys that's gonna get and get busy, what are you being there for? You ain't making them have to prove nothing. They're already connecting their dots. They already said they got a ping from your ankle. They got some phone. They got y'all on staples. It's like, yo, was you like really like trying to go back and you wanted to use this as an excuse? Because when you break it down, this is what you see. And this happens when you're in your own way. When you're in your own way, you're not thinking clear. You thinking you right and what everybody else saying is wrong. This is a clear fact of it. a clear factory, because this couldn't be the only option. It's no way, people, this is the only option. It's no way. I could think of plethora of options without putting nobody in danger. A prime example, I say, we use the locks. Start campaigning. Your music is fire. Get your music out there. Start doing your own footwork. Because at the end of the day, ain't nobody saying this, man. Nobody's saying this. This is why I love UNC Network, where you make the network. Because we're going to break it down the way other people's not breaking it down. Because the whole moral of this situation, people, he signed that contract. Yeah, he signed that contract. He signed it. Right? So now you got to start from there. You put yourself in this bad situation. Ain't nobody force you. Well, I wouldn't think no one forced you, but you put yourself in that predicament. That's what I be saying. Dudes be talking this boss hog talk. They the bigger Val talk. They this and that. But they be moving like pheasants. Real talk. They be moving like pheasants, man. It's sad, man.
Further in the complaint, within hours of leaving the Dallas studio, a number of the defendants were on social media displaying some of the items that appeared to be the jewelry that had been robbed from the victims. The charging document outlines some of the evidence, just some, establishing the defendants' roles in.
So now I would say this. The key word is appeared. Evidence appeared. You understand me? That it may be some of the jury from there. Appeared. They didn't say it was. That word appeared could mean a lot, because that you're not for sure. It may have been or it may have not been. So I dig that. It may have been or may not have been. And Gucci had issues with Big Scar and family when he passed. Yeah, a lot of that. We're gonna get to that, DBN. A lot of that is, like I said, you in your own way. You mad, you tight, you in jail. So you had dudes in jail probably beating you in the head. Yo, you need to go do this. Yo, you need to go do that. Yo, you need to go do this. And the saddest thing ever, man. I don't know how the feds is, but I know how the state is. Wherever you get parole, whatever jail you get parole from, and you in a violation, they send you back to that jail. I don't know how the feds is, but they send you back to that jail. And them same dudes that was, yo, you should do this. Now you did it. Now you back in there with them. Messed up your whole bag. Messed up your whole bag. Because you in your way, you dealing with a lot of feelings and emotions that you probably wouldn't even dealt with if you was good money. If you would have just came home and said, yo, you know what? Let me just be happy I'm free. Let me reset this button and let me start moving correctly. And the first move is, let me obey this contract. Let me get this man what he need. And all right. Then I can go ahead and do what I need to do. I'm not feeling them. If y'all niggas had some type of relation, y'all sit down, yo, Dick, listen, I ain't feeling you right now. You know what I mean? I ain't jacking the fact you holding my contract hostage, but it is what it is. We still go work. Let's finish this contract. Let's do what we do. And then when that contract is up, y'all both have the opportunity to come back to the table, and you should have learned from that deal where you could have made a better deal. Yeah, it was off emotion, DBN. You know what I mean? You sitting in jail. Can you imagine that, though? You sitting in jail, you know somebody chewing off your situation. And they said he got a couple of mil, like 25 mil or something like that. I'm sure Pooh Shiesty ain't getting nothing out that deal. Can you blame Gucci, man? You can't blame Gucci. Pooh Shiesty signed the contract, and in that contract, he should have read certain technicalities. He should have been like, nah, you know what? I need to get my own media rights, or I need to get my own this, because I heard he made a couple dollars off YouTube or whatever else that was done on social media. So Pooh Shiesty can't get mad at Gucci Mane. He signed a bad deal. So now let's look at it from a business aspect. Gucci Mane is the businessman now. All right, cool. Yo, hold on. Let me start playing chess. Let me play chess here. I'm going to let everybody else out of their contract, because it seemed like Gucci was on to something already. Because I don't know, when he talked about this, I don't know if this was before the allegations or after. But I know I heard the man like, yo, I'm dropping everybody off at 10-17, blase blah, and I'm keeping Pooh. So did Gucci Mane already knew what was about to go down? Like, was Gucci already like, yo, hold on, wait a minute. This joint is starting to smell rocky. You know what I'm saying? Let me get ahead and let me move this way. So just in case, if it goes the right way, we can sit back down and I'm gonna have enough bread where I could break with him, where he could, if he wanted to, you know, kind of start his own situation and let Gucci Mane been the distribution. Cause that's what I would have did. Yo, let's finish this deal. And let me get ahead and say, all right, boom, deal done. We did good business. And then you start your next move. The question is, who fueled this mess? Hey, yo, level up, man. 2 times. Yo, to be honest, man, it could have been plethora of people, man. We know it ain't come from Gucci. So I had to come from Pooh Shiesty's side. And then, you know, when his family got unalive, that added on to the fuel. You know, and they said Gucci wanted his chains back. Like, so it could have been a lot escalating this. It could have been brewing for a very long time. But if Pooh had material and he knew he was still under that contract, get that man his work. And then you hit the reset button, man. It's that simple, people. Then you hit the reset button. Who wife called the cops? Then you hit the reset button, man. That's his best. That would have been his best way, man. That would have been the best way he handled that business. Not saying be okay with you getting jerked. Nah. But what else you gonna do? Because you gonna put yourself in a predicament you in now with, where you gonna lose all the way around the board. You gonna lose all the way around the board now. You gonna lose all the way around the board. I would have got him put a quick project or two, whatever he has signed that deal with, kind of contract it was supposed to have been. I'd have put that together so fast. I'd have pushed that out there, made sure I got him what he needed. And then I would have got him, went on and do, you know, what I wanted to do, man. You wanted to be your own boss. It's ways, man. Like dudes just be wilding. It's the same thing. Like, yo, to be real, same thing goes on here on his YouTube streets, man. That's a fact. Same thing.
In the federal offense. This is as follows. Electronic monitoring data placing Williams Jr. at the offense location, which would put him in violation of his home detention conditions. Cell phone records and license plate reader data corroborating the coordinated travel of multiple defendants from Memphis, Tennessee to Dallas. Rental car records confirming Williams Sr. rented a vehicle that was used by the group. Surveillance footage from the offense location, a nearby office supply store, and a hotel where several of the defendants stayed following the offense. Fingerprint evidence as well that was recovered from the crime scene, matching at least two of the defendants. Social media posts by defendants displaying what appears to be stolen property just in the days following.
So I want to know where people is saying they ain't got no evidence on him. What they need a video for? All they got to do is prove that he was there. To me, what I'm hearing, that they got that. They got enough proof to put him at the scene. And if those are not even his fingerprints, trust me, somebody gonna break. Whoever fingerprints that is, they breaking. They breaking. And right now, when you look around, who just got a bell? Hello? Who just got a bell? This ain't gonna be the first time we seen a father going bad on the son on the social media. But who got the bell? It's so much stipulations, just they could hold him just for the stipulations. Let's just violate him. Have him sitting, and then next thing you know, they all investigation, because you're gonna be elite, you're gonna be the leader of the indictment. Said Gucci Mane wife called the cops. He married kids trying to keep him on meds. What a wife supposed to do. That's what I believe. Yeah, well, I heard, allegedly, from what I heard from what Gucci Mane was saying, his wife got license. She's a license to carry. Why would she need to tell? Why would she need to tell? We know he was there. The initials match. RD. We know he was there. You know what I mean? The initials match. RD. What you think RD stand for? You know what I'm saying? What you think RD stand for? But the point I'm making is, I'm hearing everybody saying that, he might beat it. They got lack of evidence. They don't sound like they got lack of evidence to me on here, people. That's a fact. I'm just keeping it 100.
The offense, Greyhound bus records confirming the travel of multiple defendants from Dallas to Memphis the day after the offense.
Nightcrawler lets you snag great last-minute deals on hotels for when your sleeping arrangements get...
The victims in this case came to Dallas to conduct legitimate business, and they were met with firearms and violence as alleged in the charging document. This case should serve as a warning to others who believe that using violence and intimidation tactics to rob others in our community is a viable way to conduct business. I'm here to say that it is not, and that if you choose to do this, we will, together with our law enforcement partners here and the other ones in the Northern District of Texas, will bring you swiftly to justice. I want to thank the FBI Dallas Violent Crimes Task Force, the FBI's Memphis Resident Agency and Nashville Field Office, the Memphis Safe Task Force, the Dallas Police Department, the United States Attorney for the Western District of Tennessee, Michael Dunovit, and AUSA Greg Wagner, the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Eastern District of Texas, my dear friend and colleague Jay Combs, and the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Middle District of Tennessee, including my colleague Braden Busek, for their outstanding contributions in this multi-jurisdictional investigation and prosecution. I'd also like to highlight the extraordinary work. None of this happens without the extraordinary work of our AUSAs in this office, and I'm here to say we have the best AUSAs in the entire country. That includes AUSAs Robert Withers, Claire Demers, and my violent crime chief, Jeremy Fugate. This case really underscores the importance of standing up for crime victims, no matter who they are or where they come from, and the incredible collaborative investigative partnerships that we have, not only in the Northern District of Texas, but across the country. And we are all working together to make our country safer. So thank you for being here today, and I'll answer some questions after my colleague here speaks. But now I'm going to turn it over to him, and this is Jeremy Wright, who's the Dallas FBI Assistant Special Agent in charge.
Yeah, thank you, Ryan. Good morning, everybody. As Ryan said, my name is Jeremy Wright. I'm Assistant Special Agent in charge for FBI Dallas. As United States Attorney Raybold said, we're here today to announce the arrest of several individuals in the Memphis and Nashville, Tennessee areas, as long as one here in Frisco, Texas. These arrests are the result of a violent kidnapping of 3 individuals here in the Dallas area. The majority of those arrested did travel from Memphis to Dallas to commit that offense. Our office collaborated with multiple law enforcement agencies and other FBI offices to carry out this investigation that ultimately led to these arrests. So I'd like to thank the Dallas Violent Crimes Task Force, Dallas Police Department, the Memphis Safe Task Force, Memphis, Tennessee Police Department, and the Shelby County, Tennessee Sheriff's Department for helping with this investigation. Violent crime does remain a top priority for the FBI, and we dedicated significant resources from here in Dallas FBI, Nashville, Little Rock, Birmingham, and Atlanta FBI offices to investigate and successfully arrest these individuals. We remain committed to investigating violent crimes like these. No matter who you are.
Again, I got another question. How did they get the information on what hotel these dudes were staying in? So now we talking now even before Gucci Mane. How did these guys get this information on what hotels these dudes were staying in? How did they know they got on a Greyhound bus? Who else is running their mouth, people? This is what I want to know. Who else is running their mouth? It has to be somebody else that was running their mouth. Hold on, we got to go back. We got to go back to they talking about
others in our community is a viable way to conduct business. Conviction out of the Southern District of Florida. Towards the end of his prison sentence, he had been granted home detention. Part of the terms of his home detention were that he would not commit another federal offense or possess a firearm. His father, Lontrell Williams Sr., is alleged to have helped plan and execute the federal kidnapping as charged in the complaint. And as described further in the complaint, within hours of leaving the Dallas studio, a number of the defendants were on social media displaying some of the items that appeared to be the jewelry that had been robbed from the victims. The charging document outlines some of the evidence, just some, establishing the defendants' roles in the federal offense. This is as follows. Electronic monitoring data placing Williams Jr. at the offense location, which would put him in violation of his home detention conditions. Cell phone records and license plate reader data corroborating the coordinated travel of multiple defendants from Memphis, Tennessee to Dallas. Rental car records confirming Williams Sr. rented a vehicle that was used by the group. Surveillance footage from the offense location and near.
People, how do they know all this? How do they know that his pops rented vehicles? So we talking now even before they even get to the studio. They breaking things down even before these are things that take place before they even got to the studio. Getting on the Greyhound bus, renting these vehicles. Somebody else from Pooh Shiesty camp is telling. Because how Gucci Mane know all this? It ain't but so much Gucci Mane can say. He can tell whatever took place in that room. But how do he know everything else? How do he know everything else? What, did Pooh Shiesty hit him? Yo, I'm about to throw my guys on a Greyhound. I'm about to get these hotels. Yo, my pops is about to go rent a vehicle for these dudes. Like, yo, then you rent the listen, man. Hey, yo, we gotta throw Pooh Shiesty and Pops and Pooh Shiesty back in that Bozo of the Week award, people. We got you, man. Because why would you sit there? Hey, yo, this joint is wild. You rent a vehicle. That's a fact, man. I said that. That's the only way that they're gonna get to know all this information. And then not only that, hey, yo, Ming, check this out. Not only that, right? Why are you renting a vehicle to allegedly go handle business and the license plate reader read the license plate and it goes back to you? Don't that sound kind of dumb? You rent a vehicle in your name. Then you go handle a situation in the same vehicle. Then you ride by a license plate reader. Yo, listen. I ask this question again. What was the reason Pooh Shiesty needed to be there? Like, what was the reason? This ain't no gangster stuff that Pooh Shiesty did. This was stupidity. This was, I'm in my own way. I don't have a thorough team behind me to let me know that I'm bozoing out here. That's nasty work. That's nasty work, people.
By office supply store and a hotel where several of the defendants stayed following the offense. Fingerprint evidence as well that was recovered from the crime scene, matching at least two of the defendants. Social media posts by defendants displaying what appears to be stolen property just in the days following the offense. Greyhound bus records confirming the travel of multiple defendants from Dallas to Memphis the day after the offense. The victims in this case came to Dallas to conduct legitimate business, and they were met with firearms and violence as alleged in the charging document. This case should serve as a warning to others who believe that using violence and intimidation tactics to rob others in our community is a viable way to conduct business. I'm here to say that it is not, and that if you choose to do this, we will, together with our law enforcement partners here and the other ones in the Northern District of Texas, will bring you swiftly to justice. I want to thank the FBI Dallas Violent Crimes Task Force, the FBI's Memphis Resident Agency and Nashville Field Office, the Memphis Safe Task Force, the Dallas Police Department.
So let's stop right there. Now let's talk about that. Hey, yo, man. I don't know if I'm tripping or not. I don't know. When you mean to tell me that these dudes went to handle a situation armed up the way they was armed up and didn't have gloves on? And they didn't have gloves on? And they didn't have gloves on. Like, this thing about that. This don't look good for Pooh Shiesty, B. Like, it don't look, and I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt that he's in his own way. I dig that. I can see now why he's in his own way. Like, how in the, yo, you going to do a movie and you don't got near glove? Like you just around the scene touching everything. Oh, I like this. Oh, yo, this is dope. Oh, yo, this might cost me. Just touching up. Like, what kind of niggas you got rocking with you? Like, real talk, what kind of dudes do you got rocking with you? Rich Martinez, salute. Hey, yo, Pooh Shiesty was out here bozoing for real. Yo, he out here with dudes that's about to go put a movie in, and they leaving fingerprints behind. Well, you know what? I can't even be mad at them. Because look at the people that they underneath. Look at the people they underneath. They leaving trails at rent-a-car spots. They taking flashes of the license plate so they don't even know the route that they going. They ain't even peep the route out like, yo, hold on. It's mad joints over here. Like, they ain't do none of that. The person who put this plan together, it's like, hey, yo, they need to hit the pause button on boy. That's, hey, yo, level up. That's a fact. A room full of dummies about to make a movie. No gloves. Nigga use the same card that his pops done rented, so it's in his pops' name. His pops is there. His pops, they already said his pops orchestrated everything. His pops done orchestrated everything. So you mean to tell me they literally sat down, right? So I guess this is how the plan went. Right? So this is what we gonna do, fellas. You know, we want to make this nice and smooth. You know what I mean? We do know. You know, he let that thing off. So you know what I'm saying? You know, he got security. You know, they the law. You know, they Roscoe. So you know, we got to be easy with that. You know what I mean? But once we just show them, you know, what we got, everything will be everything. Don't even worry about it. You know what I mean? I'm gonna go get the rental on my name. You know, we gonna make sure we on camera so the police can know that's us. I want them to take a picture of my license plate so they know that was me. I want them to know that was me. You and you, I need y'all to touch everything in that studio. I need y'all to put y'all fingerprints on everything in that studio. That's a fact. Hey, yo, son, you know, meaning Pooh Shiesty, I just need you to be there, man. Like, you known for holding, you know, the big toys. So, you know, pause. I need you to hold a big toy. So you can see it. You can see how we get down. Like, what? Like, that's the kind of conversation that had to go down that way. G-Dub Quinn, salute. The conversation had to go that way, people. What other way? Hey, yo, what other way did that conversation go? Because that's how it played out. I ain't got a lot to kick it. That's how it played out, people. That's how it played out. That's a fact.
The United States Attorney for the Western District of Tennessee, Michael Dunovit, and AUSA Greg Wagner, the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Eastern District of Texas, my dear friend and colleague Jay Combs, and the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Middle District of Tennessee, including my colleague Braden Busek, for their outstanding contributions in this multi-jurisdictional investigation and prosecution. I'd also like to highlight the extraordinary work. None of this happens without the extraordinary work of our AUSAs in this office, and I'm here to say we have the best AUSAs in the entire country.
Yo, you see people like me. This is just me personally, man. This is just my reason, right? Let me tell you my reason why I don't jack rats. Right? Because when you start telling and you talking to these people, they talk like they cracked the case. Pause. Oh, yeah, we had, to our credible team and blah, blah, blah. That wasn't your credible team. That was dudes that you had that was telling. They cracked. The rat should get the award. Like, y'all taking credit for what like I never understood that, man. You know what I mean? Like, but that's my reason. Like not only that they ratted, but just like y'all niggas ratted and don't even get credit for ratting. Y'all get the bad end of the deal, where they go up on a podium and they, oh yeah, you know, shout out to the, to the FVABYD for giving a great job on closing this case and blah, blah, blah. Y'all didn't do that on your own. Stop it. But when you ratting out here, you give these guys the opportunity to make themselves look like they put in mad work, like they bust a crazy movie. That's a fact. That joint is sad, man. Sit up there acting like, oh yeah, I want to give a shout out to this person and that person. You know what I'm saying? Like get out of here. Word, get out of here with that.
It includes AUSA's Robert Withers, Claire Demers, and my violent crime chief, Jeremy Fugate. This case really underscores the importance of standing up for crime victims, no matter who they are or where they come from. And the incredible collaborative, investigative partnerships that we have, not only in the Northern District of Texas, but across the country. And we are all working together to make our country safer. So thank you for being here today, and I'll answer some questions after my colleague here speaks. But now I'm going to turn it over to him, and this is Jeremy Wright, who's the Dallas FBI Assistant Special Agent in charge.
Bob told us they were going to test the alien craft that night.
Yeah, thank you, Ryan.
So now, another thing that just, reminded me about their stupidity, right? They already had the Dallas whatever force already involved. So this thing go down in just one day, people. You heard them say in the beginning, they had these dudes arrested even before they ran into the spot. Only one that didn't get arrested. And they was on his top like a dirty do-rag. But they said that we're about to hear from the Dallas Department of Justice. From Dallas, people. So not only is this situation taking place in a whole nother state that he wasn't even supposed to be in. Hey, yo, man, God bless America, man. And my man China Brim voice. God bless America, man. God bless America, people. This is all the way nasty. Well, let's see what the Dallas, let's talk about.
Good morning, everybody. As Ryan said, my name is Jeremy Wright, Assistant Special Agent in charge for FBI Dallas. As United States Attorney Raybold said, we're here today to announce the arrest of several individuals in the Memphis and Nashville, Tennessee areas, as long as one here in Frisco, Texas. These arrests are the result of a violent kidnapping of 3 individuals here in the Dallas area. The majority of those arrested did travel from Memphis to Dallas to commit that offense. Our office collaborated with multiple law enforcement agencies and other FBI offices to carry out this investigation that ultimately led to these arrests. So I'd like to thank the Dallas Violent Crimes Task Force, Dallas Police Department, the Memphis Safe Task Force, Memphis, Tennessee Police Department, and the Shelby County, Tennessee Sheriff's Department for helping with this investigation. Violent crime does remain a top priority.
So now my next question is this. How long was they being watched? That's the next question. Because they had everybody named mother from Memphis to Dallas involved. Respectfully. I'm just being honest. My man Mikey B voice, respectfully. How long was they involved in this? Because they had everything mapped out. I want to know how long. That's crazy. I would like to know how long they was watching these people, man. Because that right there is a pretty long time for them to gather up all these departments together. This ain't even fall under no RICO or nothing yet. This is just normal alphabet boy stuff. This is not, there ain't no RICO, no nothing. This is just regular alpha boy stuff that they spent money on to have all these other departments involved. Yo, this just happened like what, last week? This joint had to just happen like last week. Last week, this joint probably just happened, right? And they got the vehicle, the license plate, the person who rented the vehicle. They got fingerprints. They got, I guess, a ping from the ankle monitor, putting them at the location. They got cell phone records, putting them at the location. What they need a video for? They got all the evidence to put every last individual who pretty much that moves sloppy. They done. They done. January 10th. January 10th, the situation happened, or January 10th, police ran down on them and locked them up. Because they got locked up in March. I do know that. They got locked up in March. Well, they got locked up in March. What day in March, I don't know. But I know they got locked up in March. They got locked up in March. What day, I have no idea. But we do know it was in March. I think they might have been on them maybe since January. They might have been on them since January, because around January, that's when they was talking about, Pooh Shiesty went to jail then. You know, that's what they were saying. Pooh Shiesty got locked back up. I think that's when that rumor started running around. They locked Pooh Shiesty back up, blah, blah, blah. I'm thinking that's where it might have stemmed from. It might have stemmed from that. That's a fact.
Priority for the FBI, and we dedicated significant resources from here in Dallas FBI, Nashville, Little Rock, Birmingham, and Atlanta FBI offices to investigate and successfully arrest these individuals. We remain committed to investigating violent crimes like these. No matter who you are, we will fight every day alongside our partners to make our communities safer. So, thank you.
And we have time for some questions. If you would just identify who you were with and your name would be helpful.
We ain't got to hear all that. We ain't got to hear all that. You know what I mean? This joint is nasty work. It's nasty work, people. However you look at it, however you want to break it down, however you want to slay the cat, you know, it's wicked. Like I said, when you got a person that's getting to a little bag, right? And then you look up and you say, wow, how did I end up back in? I just left. Let's just get to that. I just left here. How I ain't even been home a whole year. How I put myself back in this predicament? Because now he got to spend more money that he probably didn't even make when he came out. He got to spend that on more attorneys. Now he got to prove his innocence. Like, joint is bugged out, man. I don't be understand. The best thing that could come out that conversation, he ain't got, he ain't got to, get jail ready. You know how some people be like, I know for me, you know what I mean? Every time I wanted to go lay it down, it was like, if I ain't bail out, and I know I was gonna sit for a minute, I get right in the rain. I jump straight in the rain. I get them, you know what I mean? Washing that, boom, into the new. I'm getting jump right in the rain. About to start, getting the garments together. Yeah. I know if I'm gonna make bail though, ain't none of that happening. That's a fact. Ain't none of that happening. But the nigga know he could sit it down for a minute and until that bail is made, or I'm just gonna sit it down, period. Oh yeah, I'm jumping in that rain, man. That right there is that's my initiation. Yo, you here, you landed. Once you jump in that rain, it's over. It's over. Everything that you did before the time you got locked up is over. Let that thing go. That's a fact. Keisha Cole it. Let that thing go. So one thing for sure, two things for certain. We can say that about him. You know what I mean? He ain't got to worry about doing that. He gonna get right in where he fit in. He gonna get right in where you fit in. You know what I mean? Like that pause. That joint is wicked though, man. That joint is wicked. And it's sad. Really, it's really sad. It's really sad because I'm a firm believer he was in his own way. Now, that's not no excuse. You know what I mean? That ain't no excuse. But he definitely was in his own way. He definitely was in his own way. That's a whole fact. And like I said, being in your own way could mean plethora of things. Being in your own way could be meaning you are forcing yourself to believe an assumption. You're forcing yourself to believe that because you want to be right. That's just that. Bottom line. I'm right. I know what I'm talking about. That's that. And especially when you ain't got nobody, that's gonna stand up and kind of like put the foot to the metal no matter what. You know what I mean? Like I said, that comes in all shapes and forms as well. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's not about how they deliver the message. Sometimes it's all about how you gonna receive the message. You know what I mean? It could be hurtful, but it's all about you looking yourself in the mirror and knowing what you need to do to get you right. And I think that's like that was Pooh Shiesty's situation. And especially when you the breadwinner. So not only are you in your way in your mind is because this was rage. This was something he was sitting on for some time in jail. Like I said, I guess it was one of those. He got the master plan together. He felt like this was the best plan, and he ran with it. Facts. He ran with it. Was it the best plan? I don't think so. Like I said, for me, the best plan would have been, let me get ahead and play this contract out, let it end, and never know what happened. Let everything fall. I signed it. Like you signed it. That's the most, that right there is the key to this whole situation. Manning up. Right there. Supposed to. But he in his own way, he already didn't put in his mind that the move that he about to bust is the right move. Sleaze guard in the building with Papino. You feel me? He felt like, yo, this is the best move that I'm making. Period. I'm right. I don't care what nobody say. I'm right. This is how I'm doing it, and nobody gonna change it. So now in his mind already, he didn't let that shit sit so long. That already was boom. It was done mentally already. That was the best move he came up with. Yeah, that's a fact. Rocked him. But hey yo, Sleaze, at least you'll put some gloves on, homie. At least you'll put some gloves on, Sleaze. Come on, Sleaze. We not leaving fingerprints. They not taking pictures of that license plate talking about, yeah, Sleaze guard. That was his vehicle. He rented it. Like, they not doing that. They not doing that. Like, we ain't never do nothing like that, man. Never doing. Yo, let me tell you something. It got so wicked on my block where niggas was wearing these certain gloves just like for a fashion. Like, that's the main. Listen. Protecting your fingerprints is the main product you sell, man. Without that, they ain't got nothing. They got to scramble, and then they got to go to the physical evidence and all that. Right now, from what I'm hearing, everybody saying is hearsay. From what I heard, it's over. Like, they got things already that they shouldn't even have right now. That's a fact. They got dudes getting on a Greyhound bus. They know how many people came from here to there. They got the nigga ankle monitor pinging them at the location. They got the father using the rental car in his name, the license plate reader. Like, come on. Like, come on, man. Like, what Pooh Shiesty was doing, man. Like, what he was doing, man. And you know what's sad? Right, let me tell you the most saddest thing ever, man. This is the saddest thing ever. Because he's speaking to guys that's in tight situations. Like Dirk. He ride with a nigga like Dirk. You mean to tell me Dirk ain't on the line with that nigga? Like, hey, yo, my nigga, yo, breathe easy. BV in the building. Salute, my guy. Shout out to my man Bad Vibes in the building. Yo, Vibes is getting spooky out here, Vibe. Yeah, you already know, Sleaze, but yo, this new age, Sleaze, I don't know, man. I don't I'm a firm believer, man. They messing the game up for real. It's safe to say that now. It's safe to say that. It is safe to say that they messing the game up for real. Because there's no way, people, that you sat down and had a plan other than what took place. It is no way that they get that much wrong. What part of the plan did they get right? That's what I'm asking. What part of the plan did they get right? Because if you see what took place and you don't understand, like, all right, hold on, wait a minute. So one, dude left his fingerprints. That's one. Two, he put them on a Greyhound bus. God bless America, my man China Brim voice. You can't make this up. Out of pocket. NoBueno.com. You put them on a bus. They knew what hotel they was in. Like, hey, yo, these are these things Wild Country should look. Yo, these are the things you sit back and it's like you're watching a movie. Right? And you saying to yourself, like, yo, why did they do that? Like, why did he touch that? Why did all of them stay in one hotel or the same hotel? Or why did they all leave at the same day? Why they got on a Greyhound bus? And look, if that wasn't bozoing, let's talk about this. And they still got it all wrong. And they still got it all wrong. Because you got, yo, hey, yo, man. Hey, yo, how is Pops go rent a vehicle and use the same vehicle to involve himself allegedly in the movie? I'm not understanding that, people. Allegedly. Why did his father? It ain't no allegedly because they said it. It ain't no allegedly. He said it. It's no allegedly, people. He said it. Even down to the father being a mastermind. Hold on. Hold on. Come on. Come on, people. I ain't got a lot to kick it. I ain't got a lot to kick it, people. I do not got a lot to kick it. Come on now. I just listening. This is what I don't be liking. I don't be liking, man, because I already done typed it in and make you do all this again. It's crazy. Pardon me, people. I ain't dead nice in this joint yet, but I'm getting there. I'm getting there. I'm getting there. Your boy getting there.
I'm Ryan Rabel. I'm the U.S. Attorney for the Northern District of Texas. Thank you for coming. This week, 9 individuals, including well-known musical artists, kidnapped and robbed at gunpoint numerous victims at a music studio in Dallas, Texas. 8 of the 9 were arrested yesterday in Dallas, Memphis, and Nashville. These individuals who are charged and arrested include Lontrell Williams Jr., also known as Pooh Shiesty, Lontrell Williams Sr., Rodney Wright Jr., also known as Big 30, Kadarius Waters, Demarion Gibson, DeMarcus Glover, Corday Johnson, Darian McDaniel, and Terrence Rogers has not been arrested yet, but will be soon. The complaint alleges that on January 10th of this year, 3 music industry professionals traveled to Dallas for a scheduled business meeting.
Yo, hold on. Did y'all peep how he said that? That last individual, he's not arrested, but will be soon. Like, how are they so? Y'all understand what y'all get what I'm getting at with this? How they so for sure about these things, but he will be soon. AP salute, my guy. Appreciate the pull up. Wild Country salute. BV in the building. Like how is that? How is it that they know that they're gonna get this dude? What information that they have already that they so guaranteed that they're gonna get him? Nasty work, man.
Lontrell Williams Jr. arranged this meeting purportedly to discuss the terms of his recording contract with one of the victims. As alleged, Once these three men were inside the recording studio, Williams Jr. and 8 co-conspirators, several of whom traveled from Memphis, Tennessee, executed a coordinated armed takeover. As alleged, Williams Jr. produced an AK-style pistol and forced one of the victims to sign a release from the recording contract at gunpoint. The remaining conspirators displayed firearms and robbed the other victims of Rolex watches, jewelry, cash, and other high-value items. One of the victims was actually choked by one of the defendants to the point of near unconsciousness. Defendant Wright barricaded the studio door with his body to prevent the victims from escaping. The ringleader of the conspiracy, Lontrell Williams Jr., was on home confinement at the time of the offense, as alleged, for a prior firearms conspiracy charge and conviction out of the Southern District of Florida. Towards the end of his prison sentence, he had been granted home detention. Part of the terms of his home detention were that he would not commit another federal offense or possess a firearm. His father, Lontrell Williams Sr., is alleged to have helped plan and execute the federal kidnapping as charged in the complaint. And as described further in the complaint, within hours of leaving the Dallas studio, a number of the defendants were on social media displaying some of the items that appeared to be the jewelry that had been robbed from the victims. The charging document outlines some of the evidence, just some, establishing the defendants' roles in the federal offense. This is as follows. Electronic monitoring data placing Williams Jr. at the offense location, which would put him in violation of his home detention conditions. Cell phone records and license plate reader data corroborating the coordinated travel of multiple defendants from Memphis, Tennessee to Dallas. Rental car records confirming Williams Sr. rented a vehicle that was used by the group. Surveillance footage from the offense location and near.
Nah, that ain't the most dumbest crook. Yo, Ron BX, salute. City Bama, salute. NY Nikki Baby in the building, salute. It's always thank you. Now, hey, yo, man. Yo, this is nasty work, man. It is nasty work. I hope they didn't sit down amongst each other and planted this out. I really don't. I hope that they didn't sit down and plan this out. I hope they didn't do that. I mean, literally, I hope they didn't do that. But it's clear to see that it's somebody in their camp talking. And it ain't, I mean, I'm not saying Gucci Man ain't talking or however or whatever. But outside of that, it's somebody in Pooh Shiesty camp that's talking, man. It's somebody in Pooh Shiesty camp that started talking already. That's a fact. It's no way they know all this. They was on a Greyhound. They know the hotel. Listen to this. It's no way, man. It's no way, people. I don't care what nobody say.
Nearby office supply store and a hotel where several of the defendants stayed following the offense. Fingerprint evidence as well that was recovered from the crime scene, matching at least two of the defendants. Social media posts by defendants displaying what appears to be stolen property just in the days following the offense. Greyhound bus records confirming the travel of multiple defendants from Dallas to Memphis the day after the offense.
Imagine being able to build an app with your name on it just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44, a complete AI.
The victims in this case came to Dallas to conduct legitimate business, and they were met with firearms and violence as alleged in the charging document. This case should serve as a warning to others who believe that using violence and intimidation tactics to rob others in our community is a viable way to conduct business. I'm here to say that it is not, and that if you choose to do this, we will, together with our law enforcement partners here, and the other ones in the Northern District of Texas will bring you swiftly to justice. I want to thank the FBI Dallas Violent Crimes Task Force, the FBI's Memphis Resident Agency and Nashville Field Office, the Memphis Safe Task Force, the Dallas Police Department, the United States Attorney for the Western District of Tennessee, Michael Dunovit, and AUSA Greg Wagner, the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Eastern District of Texas, my dear friend and colleague Jay Combs, and the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Middle District of Tennessee, including my colleague Braden Busek, for their outstanding contributions in this multi-jurisdictional investigation and prosecution. I'd also like to highlight the extraordinary work. None of this happens without the extraordinary work of our AUSAs in this office, and I'm here to say we have the best AUSAs in the entire country. That includes AUSAs Robert Withers, Claire Demers, and my violent crime chief, Jeremy Fugate. This case really underscores the importance of standing up for crime victims, no matter who they are or where they come from, and the incredible collaborative, investigative partnerships that we have, not only in the Northern District of Texas, but across the country, and we are all working together to make our country safer. So thank you for being here today, and I'll answer some questions after my colleague here speaks. But now I'm going to turn it over to him, and this is Jeremy Wright, who's the Dallas FBI Assistant Special Agent in charge.
Yeah, thank you, Ryan. Good morning, everybody. As Ryan said, my name is Jeremy Wright. I'm Assistant Special Agent in charge for FBI Dallas. As United States Attorney Raybold said, we're here today to announce the arrest of several individuals in the Memphis and Nashville, Tennessee areas, as long as one here in Frisco, Texas. These arrests are the result of a violent kidnapping of 3 individuals here in the Dallas area. The majority of those arrested did travel from Memphis to Dallas to commit that offense. Our office collaborated with multiple law enforcement agencies and other FBI offices to carry out this investigation that ultimately led to these arrests. So I'd like to thank the Dallas Violent Crimes Task Force, Dallas Police Department, the Memphis Safe Task Force, Memphis, Tennessee Police Department, and the Shelby County, Tennessee Sheriff's Department for helping with this investigation. Violent crime does remain a top priority for the FBI, and we dedicated significant resources from here in Dallas FBI, Nashville, Little Rock.
See, that's what I be saying. That's what I hate. You know, you get a nigga, they done ratted, went out bad, and now they stand there on the podium acting like they, you know, they didn't solve the big crime. And you had help. Like, that's really sad. But they made it easy for these guys, man. Like, they made it real easy for these guys. I don't know how long they was on them. I don't know how long, the Alphabet Boys is on their top like a dirty do-rag. I don't know how long, but boy, they move fast. Cause they got I don't know where people saying that he might get off lack of evidence. Yo, they got all the key evidence that they need. They don't even need no video. Why would they need a video? Where they can prove dudes came from Memphis to Dallas. They can prove they got on a Greyhound bus. They can prove the hotels they were staying in. And they can prove the fingerprints. Yeah, that's a fact, City Bama. They be holding the chat down. That's a whole fact. That's a fact. That's all. Hey, yo, you couldn't have said it no better than that. Because guess what? Hey, yo, G-Dub Quinn. After they did their little commercial, right? Because that wasn't a movie. That was a commercial, people. After they did it, this is how you know the dudes that did it, they was like, they're not used to that activity. You understand me? They not used to that kind of activity. Because how you turn around and go right to the gram. Yo, they went right to the gram, people. They went right to the gram. That's a fact. They went right to the gram and took pictures of the items. See where I come from? That shit go immediately. That's a fact. That joint go immediately. Ain't no hole. It ain't no holding on to nothing. There's times when my man, listen. NoBueno.com, man.
Birmingham and Atlanta FBI offices to investigate and successfully arrest these individuals. We remain committed to investigating violent crimes like these. No matter who you are, we will fight every day alongside our partners to make our communities safer. So, thank you.
And we have time for some questions. If you would just identify who you were with and your name would be helpful.
You see what I'm saying? So he finito, man. He finito. That's a fact. He's finito. Like, it ain't even no way around that. I don't care if they got no evidence. I don't care if they got no evidence. I don't care about none of that. I don't care about none of that. All you got to do is open your eyes. That's all you got to do is open your eyes. It's right there for you. Let's see how he answer these questions, because now they gonna break down specific information on who the guys is, probably where they came from. So let's not jump the gun, and let's see.
Happy to get you a copy of that. It's now unsealed. It was off Dallas Parkway in Dallas, Texas, a music studio. That's what's identified in the complaint. As far as victims go, we won't get into at this time who the victims are or not.
Chase with the Dallas Morning News. Can you describe the injuries suffered by the three?
Now we know that's wrong, because they put the victim initials. They said RD. That's Gucci Mane initials. So that's false. So they already know who the victims was. But they told me they didn't want to identify them. Y'all already identified them by the initials.
Victims.
So one of the victims, and this is actually in the complaint, and we'll get you a copy as well. There's a photograph of the injury. It looks like there's some abrasions on the neck and arm.
You were still seeking one suspect, you said.
One of the individuals that's been charged has not had his initial appearance yet, but agents are actively working to locate and bring him to court.
And I wanted to touch on that, actually. Eric Bushman of KRLD. Since there's one person you're still trying to get to come in, I guess it's not an arrest, it's an initial appearance. You had said that you're trying to work out. Because you're going public with this, are you afraid at all that that's going to hinder and eventually getting that individual in?
Agents are working to find him. The complaint has already been unsealed, and a number of these defendants have had their public hearing already, their initial appearance, and so it's already out there that this individual has been charged, and so that information is in the public record. But I trust that the agents will be able to identify this person and find them and bring them to justice. Of course, that person can turn themselves in immediately.
You own your own home in Pennsylvania and are still paying for electricity, you could be missing out on free government assistance to
two questions. This is Chase with the Dallas Morning News again. So the initial incident happens in January 10th. We're here in April. Can you describe the timeline and the length of time, why we're talking about this now? Because it sounds like these arrests happened recently. And then the second part of that question, did all of the arrests happen yesterday, or were they happening over the span of time that we're talking about?
Yeah, good questions. I'll start with the last part. 8 of the 9 happened yesterday, and then we're still working on one more. And that was, again, a lot of those happened in Memphis. One happened in Nashville, and we're working now with our Georgia counterparts to get the last person brought to justice. Do you want to ask another question, follow up to that?
Actually, I forgot he had two. I'm going to come back to me after you ask the second.
Okay, and remind me of your first part, sir.
That we had the initial incident on January 10th,
Yep.
here April 2nd. Can you describe and kind of characterize why, that amount of time passed before the arrests?
Well, that was one of the reasons I wanted to list off some of the evidence that has been uncovered to date. A lot of this was subpoena work, search warrant work, and things like that in order to develop the investigation. And so the agents here with me.
Oh, so it's not even all the way official that they don't got the video. They just not putting all the evidence out there. They put enough out there to let y'all know that it's enough evidence to indict them. So so all this took place April 2nd. So look at that, people. April 2nd, all this this where it started. They got on their top January 10th. They got on their top like a dirty do-rag. January 10th. April 2nd, it goes down. So from April 2nd to now, they already know. They got on a Greyhound. They left Memphis to Dallas. Like, it sounded like it's 3 states involved, like where these individuals came from. But they all know that they got on a Greyhound bus. They stayed at the same hotel, from what I'm gathering. And Pooh Shiesty father renting a vehicle that was caught on a license plate reader. I don't know if it's in the same state. I don't know if it was near the scene. I don't know. Yeah, but this right here is the news, though. You know what I mean, G-Dub Quinn? This the news right here. So they ain't really gonna steer us wrong. This the news. Now, all that I heard, Pooh Shiesty father was already doing bad. I don't know. I ain't see none of that to put that out there. I'm just saying now, with all this evidence that they got right here, saying that this man orchestrated, played a key role, and he the only one that gets a bail. Because if I'm not mistaken, Pooh Shiesty father is out. Pooh Shiesty father is out. That's a fact.
The agent is out in the field. It takes a little bit of time to identify who did this offense and build a case so that we feel comfortable bringing the charges. So actually that's pretty quickly for a federal case of this gravity and this nature. And so I'm very proud of the investigative work, and it will continue from this office as well as our FBI and our local police department.
If convicted of these charges, these arrests, how serious are these crimes? What do these people face?
They're facing a range. So there's no mandatory minimum in this case. It's a range of punishment, and it'll be in the province of the judge, whoever gets the case. But it could be from 0 all the way to life imprisonment. And as you know, a lot of what will guide what's called the sentencing guidelines will be the individual's previous criminal history, the fact that one of these individuals committed the offense while on home confinement, so actually serving a federal offense, assuming that individual is convicted, that will be an aggravating factor for sure.
I wasn't curious. I know.
Yo, I got a question. I got a question to the people, man. I got a question, yo. I want y'all to answer this. For those who in the chat, right? I want y'all to answer this with all honesty. I need y'all to answer this with all honesty. Should Pooh Shiesty take the whole hit? Should Pooh Shiesty take the whole hit for everybody? Should he just take the fall? I want to know that, because to be honest with you, the only one that's fried in this case is Pooh Shiesty. Pooh Shiesty is the only one that's fried in this case. Even the person who left the fingerprints, he might not even have a federal jacket. Pooh Shiesty got a federal jacket. This the same charge. He was on federal parole. He got caught in another state with an ankle monitor on. Like, this don't look good for Pooh Shiesty. So should Pooh Shiesty should he just say, yo, listen, y'all niggas get the less time that y'all can get, even if y'all got to throw everything on me. I'm done. I'm done. I'm not trying to beat nothing. I'm trying to get me a lawyer that's going to give me the less time. I mean, I heard that, City Bama. You know what I mean? But I don't know how true that is. But that don't mean he coming home. Shit, he ain't come home yet. His father home. His father home, City Bama. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Ron BX. Should Pooh Shiesty just say, yo, Dig, listen, y'all niggas do what y'all need to do. Y'all get the less time y'all could get. Throw everything on me. And y'all just hold me down. And the only thing Pooh Shiesty gonna do is get a lawyer to get him less time. If he end up with a 20-piece after this, I think that's good. I think that's good. Or if he can get lower than 20. But he got to start having a lawyer talking that talk right now. He can't go into no courtroom trying to beat nothing in the feds. He should know that already. He should know that already. Nah, some other dude did that. Some other dude told on his son, on a man down. Word, another dude told on his whole word on a man down. That shit crazy. Word, that's crazy. He told on his son on a man down. That's a fact, on a man down. And he all right with it. Word, I think he went on talk shows and all that. Word, he went on talk shows and all that, people. That's a fact. He went on talk shows and all that, like, yo, like he blamed his son. Yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? But, you know.
I know you're being quiet so far on the victims here, but could you at least tell us, outside of them being local to Dallas, were they aspiring artists? Are they known locally or even nationally? Can you at least tell us that?
I'm not going to get into the victim stuff at this time. I think that more will be coming out there that will help clarify, but I'm not at liberty at this stage of the investigation to disclose that.
And then can you describe the operation to conduct all of those arrests? I imagine they were in different places. maybe they all happen around the same time. I'm not sure.
I'm going to hand that one off to my colleague here, Jeremy Wright.
Yeah. Thank you for the question. It requires a lot of partnerships across multiple jurisdictions to be able to conduct simultaneous arrests in a manner, to not alert other folks and to do it safely. So really, it's just a coordinated effort. And fortunately, we have great relationships here locally with Dallas PD and our other partners, as well as other FBI offices have the similar relationships. Memphis is unique. They have the Memphis Safe Task Force there currently, which was kind of a help in a lot of this. So it's really just coordination and pre-planning.
And a follow-up to that. So were all of the arrests in Memphis or? No,
Memphis, we had one in Frisco, Texas yesterday morning. The rest were in Memphis. And as the U.S. Attorney said, we're actively pursuing the final arrest.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Did you have another question, sir?
Katie, just mugshots, is that going to be out somewhere where we can get that?
I think that becomes public record, but I'm not sure. If I could follow up with you right after, Catherine, if you would get to make sure that we get that information over there. Thank you for coming. If there are any further questions, I just want to underscore the importance here in Northern District of Texas of vigorously prosecuting violent crime. And a couple days ago, I did a press conference in Fort Worth, Texas.
I don't know why they ain't asked him, how are y'all putting Pooh Shiesty on the scene? Nobody asked him that. How are y'all putting Pooh Shiesty on the scene? To see if they would have told us more, whether it was via the ankle monitor, what about the phone calls? How can y'all physically put Pooh Shiesty on the scene? That's what they should have asked him. Bro, they should have asked him that. Because all the evidence that they got, it checks all the boxes. It checks all the boxes. All the evidence that they got, people, it checks all the boxes. Word up, it checks all the boxes. It's putting Pooh Shiesty at the scene. That's one. Two, if it's putting you at the scene, that means you done violated already. You done violated something already. Because your ankle monitor is pinging, you're not where you're supposed to be. So that's a violation already right there. That's why I said, yo, is this a time where we see Pooh Shiesty just say, yo, listen, I'm gonna wear this one? That's the only thing I could think about. Because what he go, like, what stands do Pooh Shiesty have to stand on if they saying that they pinged you there, your phone records put you there? I mean, what else could you fight? Like, how you going? Like, what are you saying when you go into the court? That's what I want to know. I want to know what else could you say? Going to hearing what I just heard. What can you go in that courtroom and say? All right, yo, I wasn't there. You ain't got me on camera. All right, but the cell phone towers and all that, it puts you in the vicinity. I didn't have my phone. So who had your ankle monitor on? So me personally, and I'm not saying this is easy to do. I'm just throwing that out there. Like, if you know you ain't gonna see daylight, man, don't, like, even if you could get them dudes less time, make it right for them to tell on you or whatever. Whatever game plan y'all put together, let them get less time, let them get out and you know what I mean, and let them hold you down. But I wouldn't waste no money on trying to get a lawyer to beat the case. The feds got a winning record for a reason. I wouldn't waste my money doing that. That's a fact. That's just me, people. I wouldn't waste my money doing that. I would go ahead and get me a good lawyer, right? That'll get me the best plea bargain, and let's do what we do. Bronx Afghanistan salute, my guy. Let's do what we do. Because there's no reason for you to be going back and forth. Like, I wouldn't even do that. Let's get this ball rolling right now. Because he still got time from, it's nasty, man. Nasty. I guess it's safe to say if Pooh Shiesty get out, something's going on. That's what he better say. That's what he better say. He ain't even make it out the halfway house, people. Like, that right there is, that right there is sad, man. It's sad, yo. It is sad. I'm telling you, man, that thing is a dangerous, I wouldn't call it a disease, but it's dangerous, man, to have a stagnated mind. It's dangerous, man. Because you just sitting back and you letting your mind just play tricks on you. And you just hovering on it. You just sitting back and you just like, all the wrong things. Because remember, you buying into whatever you thinking about, you already buying into that to suit how you feel about it. You understand what I'm saying? Like, you catering to how you feel about it already. Like, if it's a wrong or right, you right. Ain't nobody saying you wrong. So you stuck there already. So now you sitting there and you just going bonkers mentally. And that's what happened with Pooh Shiesty. He was sitting behind the wall before he even came home. This was on his mind already. He might have gave this, it might have been 10 months to a year where he just gave that joint mad room, mad space in his mind. Like, when I get out, I'm this gonna go down. Like, then you hyping yourself up more. Like, this nigga trying to play me. You know what I mean? Then my fam got unalive. You talking about giving you a chain back. You know what I mean? Like, all this, it plays in your mind. And then, you know what I mean? You behind the wall. So just imagine when you in the street in your own way. He behind the wall in his own way. So all he had was time. Time to think about all the wrong things. This time, like. And it's sad that no one was able to catch it, man. Artie in the building, salute, my guy. Shout out to my man Lightside TV and Lightside General in the building, my man Artie, Party Artie. You know what I mean? Though people, like, that's the thing that just bugged me out. Like, damn, man. Like, nobody had common sense to even just tell him, fall back. I got this. Just fall back, Just fall back. Like, it was people, like, literally saying, I jacked that idea. It had to be. It had to be people that was sitting down, orchestrating this plan, saying, that's a dope idea, I'm down. It had to be people like that. That's a fact. It had to be. Ain't nobody say, I don't think we should do this. I don't think you should ride the car that you rented with your name on it. it shouldn't be no way around nothing. Because think about it. Check this out. If they didn't have that license plate with his father would have been good. They said it ain't no video, right? So now when you just say, all right, let's go on this evidence that we have right now, which is his father had a vehicle he rented, which I don't know if it was in the scene, around the scene, I don't know. But wherever it was at, a license plate reader caught his joint and it came back to him. So if that wouldn't even happen, now I don't know about how they knowing that the father was the orchestrator and all this. I don't know how they knowing all that. It didn't still give him bail. Like, I don't know about all that. Like that right there just is like, wow. Like that's wild right there to me. You know what I mean? Oh, they got, yeah, but they saying that the reason why he might beat his charges because they don't got no video. Yeah, City Bama. They said the reason why they ain't got no hard evidence on them paws because they ain't got that video. They ain't got the video putting them there. That's the word that's going around on the streets. They said they ain't got no video that's putting them there, and pretty much. Now I'm freestyling saying this. I would think Gucci Man might have been like, yo, Dig, listen, at the end of the day, I'm not gonna give up no video because I don't want to be looked as upon as a rat. That's the only thing I could think of when it comes to that. That's the only thing that I could think about. But that's how they saying. Well, I don't know. You know what I mean? I'm gonna keep it real. I don't know. Only thing I know is that what I'm reading right now is that they got enough evidence. They got enough evidence to get that nigga what they want to give him. That's a fact. They got enough evidence, people, because all they got to do is hold him. He done violated already. Let's just get and throw that in the grease. Fry that extra crispy paws. Yeah, all he owed federal time already. That's why I said, why would he spend money? It wouldn't make sense to me. Why would you spend money to try to fight the case? Now, I don't even think he could. Who are you going to tell on? Who are you going to tell on? You know what I mean? That's my whole point right there. Who are you going to tell? He can't tell on nobody. I'm telling you, he's going to be at the head of the indictment. Word up. He's going to be ahead of the indictment. They ain't got to tell on who. Word up. Tell on who? Who he gonna tell on? They don't want to hear what nobody else got to say if they ain't jamming him up. That's a fact. They don't want to hear with nothing. They don't want to hear nothing. He can't even buy his way out of this, man. Because he definitely got to do the violation. He definitely got to do the violation. So they can't. That's why I said get the lawyer, get the best deal you could get. Yeah, get the best deal you could get so you can get this going. Why sit down, do the violation for you know, breaking the rule when you leaving. You weren't supposed to be there because they can't violate you for the charge yet. So you got the violation. They're gonna give you some time for that. And by that time, you should have a lawyer, man, to get and get you together, you know, the best plea deal and run that thing concurrent and go to sit down. Instead of you doing a violation and then, like, that'd be wild. That'd be wild. Do the violation because to me, the violation just gives them more time to get dirt on you. That's why I wouldn't even do that. I go ahead and, you know what I mean? Yo, how much time you think you could give me? Word, all right, let's get busy. I wouldn't even think about nothing else but that. Real talk. I wouldn't like, because I'm like, what is in his grounds of going in this courtroom saying that he's not guilty? Yeah, that's a fact, City Bama. But we can't say he snitched. That nigga's a law enforcement. Nigga did his job. He ain't snitch. That's his job. That nigga wasn't no street. He wasn't no street dude. He was doing his job. Now, if Gucci Man went out bad, that's a different story. You know what I mean? That's a different story. If Gucci went out bad, that's a different story right there. That's a fact. If Gucci went out bad, that's a different story, people. And I just seen something with Gucci talking about like, yeah, I don't work with the. He was talking slick. Word up, Gucci was talking slick. The last joint I seen, he was talking slick. But yo, y'all tell me what up, man. I'm gonna get him, and you know, I'm gonna see if we got some. See if we got something new, man.
Pooh Shiesty. Our Briseda Olguin has been on top of this story and has the latest.
Aside from learning that the 9th and final suspect has been arrested, we've been able to obtain video which shows the FBI at Pooh Shiesty's home the day he was arrested. Take a look at that video. This happened in Memphis. Federal authorities say Shiesty was the ringleader behind the attack on Gucci Mane here in Dallas. That incident happened back in January at a music studio located off Dallas Parkway. The DOJ says Gucci Mane and 2 others were allegedly kidnapped kidnapped and robbed at gunpoint. They say 9 people were involved, including Pooh Shiesty's father and Big.
Now, see, that's when you know it's wild, because they locked him up a day before they raided the spot. They locked him up a day before they raided the spot. Wow. Wow.
Big 30 for background. Pooh Shiesty signed on to Gucci Mane's record label back in 2020. And according to the DOJ, Pooh Shiesty is the one who set up the meeting to discuss his recording contract.
As alleged, Williams Jr. produced an AK-style pistol and forced one of the victims to sign a release from the recording contract at gunpoint. The remaining conspirators.
All right. So this is why I be saying they be thinking people slow. Who else would he be giving this contract to so he could sign out? Who else got the power to do that but Gucci Mane? You understand? You know what I'm saying? Like, just think about it. Who else got the power to sign you off that contract? So, you know, everybody, oh, well, who was it? If you just read the room, who else? His wife? His wife initially started with GD? I don't know.
Displayed firearms and robbed the other victims of Rolex watches, jewelry, cash, and other high-value items.
Pooh Shiesty was released from federal prison in October and was placed on home confinement for a previous conviction, meaning that it's likely he was wearing an ankle monitor at the time of the crime. Officials say all 9 suspects will be transported here to North Texas, where they will face their crimes. Now, if convicted, each suspect can face life in prison. For now, reporting in Dallas, Mercedes Holguin, CBS News, Texas.
They don't want you to know.
See, that's, you know what I mean? That's the crazy part about it right there, people. Like, they got all 9 suspects. All 9. I be tripping on that. How they get all 9? How did they get all 9 suspects? Nasty work. How did they get all 9 suspects, people? That's crazy. They got every last one already. Every last one already. How did that happen? Was that an accident? Hold on, I want to see, when did Pooh Shiesty father get released? Yeah, it's looking nasty, man. Yeah, I just read so much stuff that got Pooh Shiesty father down as a rat. He did bad. He trying to justify the fact that his son had nothing to do with nothing. Hell, it's bugged out, man. It is nasty work. It is nasty work. Let's see if Pooh Shiesty father even made bail. Like, that's what I'm saying too. People like, how in the hell he having these conversations with Dirk? You know what I'm saying? Like, if Dirk, then they trying to say Big 30 might tell. If you having these conversations with Dirk, like Dirk is not like telling you like, yo, like breathe easy. Like, that joint is wild. That joint is crazy. That joint is bugged out, yo. Like, how in God's green earth? How in God's green earth, man? It just don't. It don't make sense, yo. Like, I ain't even gonna lie, it don't make sense. Pooh Shiesty lawyer speaks, Big 30 and Pooh Shiesty dad get a bond. Is there no hard evidence? All right. Shout out to Candace King.
Or threatening anyone. And Hobbs said no. He also testified.
All right, y'all. So look, man, when it comes to this situation, CEO Big 30 has finally got a bond for $100,000. Now, it's a lot of speculations on people getting bonds and shit like that. It's not like it can't happen, but it is becoming more common than ever in my history of life. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not saying that to say that they're telling or anything like that. I'm just simply saying I'm not used to so many people getting bonds on shit like this. But it can also mean that they really don't have too much. But at the same time, we really don't know. Like I said in the video, y'all will hear what I had to say about certain things when it comes to them saying that there was a lack of evidence, allegedly.
Now, hold on, man. Hold on. So now they saying that nigga Big 30 is getting the bond. Hey, yo, this joint is all over the place, man. This joint is all over the place, man. And this bond is only 100,000. He only need 10,000 to get out. Yo, that's wild. So you got two people that got a bond, a federal bond. What y'all think, man? What y'all think, man? Is somebody telling, man? Like, yo, there ain't no way, man. There ain't no way you can walk away from this, man, without saying ain't nobody telling. Yo, the big 1090 salute, man. Yo, it's crazy, man. You know, but I ain't no district attorney. I ain't none of that, man. You know what I mean? I just came to break it down to see it from my 6 eyes. And it's ugly. It's ugly. It's ugly, man. I can't say that. It is ugly. But y'all already know, man. Y'all tune in. Tune into the Bozo of the Week Award.
Returning to the sector, UNT Networks, the Bozo Awards. Tune in Fridays at 6 p.m. Bozo.
Dedicated to the Music Award.
Listen, Bozo, you been a Bozo since Monday wake up call. Tripped over your ego, took a legendary fall. You been Bozoing hard, no capital to disgrace. Got lost in the building, forgot your own face. You see the blunder, you hunt for the fail. Then come get this trophy. You win about a mile. This is for the Bozo of the Week. You Bozo, you been a Bozo all week. You can cast your vote for your Bozo on Wednesdays. From your head to your torso, take this award. Don't you dare try to hide it. Cause being a Bozo is what you seek. So come on and claim it, you earned it. Just take it. Bozo, Bozo.
Saluting the people that's watching, saying salute to the people. Till next time.
As Bucks would say, don't meet me there, beat me there.
That's a fact. Don't meet me there, beat me there. Every Friday, people, 6 o'clock Eastern time. 6 o'clock Eastern time every Friday. We come on Wednesday and Thursday. We get the names together. We throw them in a poll. And Friday, we make the selection on who will be the Bozo. You dig? 2 weeks in a row. This guy right here was the Bozo.
This your Bozo of the Week, Nosy Johnson.
That was the Bozo of the Week. For the people that keep asking, Nosy Johnson won it 2 times in a row. He is the back-to-back winner for the Bozo of the Week award, people. Nosy Johnson. He won the Bozo of the Week award. All right? So, if y'all want a name to get thrown in the poll, I don't pick them. I go with the people say in the chat. Wednesdays and Thursdays, we go call Hamilton. We talk about the Bozos. We talk about why they Bozoing, why you picked them to be a Bozo, and we throw them in a poll. And Friday we get our pick. Whoever got the most votes, they become the Bozo of the Week. They become the Bozo of the Week. Just that simple. Just that simple, people. So, you know, we had good 2 turnouts. You know, we had good 2 turnouts. Oh, yeah, that's a fact. G'd up. That's my vote. That's a fact. That's my vote. Him and his pops. I had him in the last poll. I had him in there. You know what I mean? But Nosy Johnson, he won. Word up. I had him in there, G'd up, Quint. That's a fact. I had him in there. But Nosy Johnson, he won. Thank you, Asia. I appreciate the pull up. I appreciate you. That's a fact. Shout out to Asia and NY Nikki Baby for holding that chat down. You know what I mean? But y'all already know I'm about to get up out of here, people. You know what I mean? My Knick game is on. You dig? Go watch my Knick game. It's a good one. Atlanta Hawks. I don't know, man. Hit me, you know what I'm saying? You know, in the DM and let me know what y'all think, man. Who y'all think telling? That's what I want to know. I'm gonna put a poll up too. Pause. Who y'all think telling? That's a fact. Who y'all think telling? You know what I'm saying? And with that being said, people, you know, don't let nobody tell y'all, you know, that y'all can't win. Y'all ain't got what it takes for you to win. You dig? Don't let nobody steer y'all that way, man. You know what I mean? You keep winning, keep doing your thing, and keep mobbing on them. But for sure, and for certain, don't let nobody tell you what you can't do. You know what I'm saying? Don't let nobody tell you what you can't do, man. You know what I mean? That's my whole thing to that. You keep winning. You know what I mean? As they would say, keep the smile on your face. Cause you gotta, you know, you gotta give it up to the people who be in their own way, but still, you know what I mean? Make it happen and make it shake. You gotta salute to them. You know what I mean? Because that shit hard as hell, people. I don't know how to, I don't know, and I don't know if fake is a good word to use, but it's like I don't know how to be fake. You know what I mean? I don't know how to be fake. Word up. I just don't know how to be fake. You know what I mean? Some people, no, they wouldn't probably use the word fake. Some people, they wouldn't use the word fake, but you know, you gotta, you know, for you to jump into a whole nother character and you know you're going through some, you know, dealing with real life, and you can jump into some real character and that's a strong individual. But you already, man. Don't never let them tell you can't win, man. You understand me? This your boy 050BUCKS, aka Mr. Shoot Right Back, aka the Dark Side General. You understand? Don't forget that. You dig?
Yeah. Welcome to the other side. The 30 second. No filters, no rules. Content is king. Watch at your own risk. Dedicated grind music. Dedicated grind music. Yeah. Yo. 050BUCKS. I see they out here hating. We viral, a cosign make motherfuckers hate. We winning. We winning. Us never them. UNT network with a network, make the network. Dark Side General. Let them hate, let them hate. Let them say my name. Cause the hate is real, means we winning, we winning. Salute to my guys. 050 China Brim. Harlem legend, I see you, boy. You winning, keep winning. We winning, we gon' keep winning. Let them hate. Dedicated grind music. Woo. Dark Side General. Yo, 050BUCKS. I see that they out here hating. Yeah. Yeah. They watching the metrics, watching it climb. With every new cosign, they losing their mind. The whisper turn the chatter, the screams. It's all in the blueprint, it's all in the dreams. They thought it was luck, it was supposed to happen, but this is takeover. Here's the plan, while they talking about clicks. We building a throne, all the hate they gave us turn a stone for the foundation we own. Look at the wave, it's too big to capsize. The hunger is real, hate is realer, a cosign. Nah, we are the sign. Motherfuckers hate when the stars align. They biting the style, but they lack the nerve. UNT network, what a network makes the network. Woo, working. We winning, we win. It's us, never them. So let them hate, let them hate. Let them say my name. 050BUCKS, 050BUCKS. Cause the hate is real. Means we winning, we winning. We winning, we gon' keep winning. Keep winning. So let them hate, let them hate. Keep winning. Yeah, we winning, we gon' keep winning. Keep winning. So let them hate, let them hate. Love, yeah. From the ground up, we built this. In the face of the doubt, we turning up the heat. Shout to my guys holding it down. Through every storm, steady as a rock. 050 China Brim, Harlem legend. I see you, you winning. Keep winning. This ain't just a moment. This is legacy. Talk feed the sector. I'm doing me. No lie detected. Dark side in the building. General of the sector. Dark side, dark side. Where the winners get crowned. And the doubters get drowned. A cosign now. We are the sign. Motherfuckers hate when the stars align. They study the moves, but they miss the soul. UNT Network, we got the world on hold. We win and we win. It's us, never them. So let them hate, let them say my name. 050 bucks, 050 bucks. Cause the hate is real. Means we win and we win it. Yeah, we win and we gon' keep winning. Keep winning. So let them hate, keep winning. And we win and we gon' keep winning. Keep winning. So let them hate, let them talk, let them point, let them plot out the end. Every mention just a boost, my friend. The noise is the proof, the friction is the spark. We in the arena, they in the dark.
Salute to my guys, the ones who really ride, the ones who built the wall from the other side. Now watch the kingdom rise.
Dedicated grind music, win it. We win it, win it. Dark side general. 050 the movement, 050 trying to brim. All them legends, we win. Let them hate, let them say. We viral, we legend. Win it, win it. We win it, we win. Win it, win it. Let them hate, let them hate, let them hate. We win it, we win it. Winning. We winning.
That's a fact, man. You know, don't let nobody tell you you can't win. Don't let nobody tell you you ain't gonna win. Don't let nobody tell you ain't got it to win. You know, learn how to take constructive criticism, no matter how it's done. You understand? Like, I'm telling you, being in your own way, man, it's no bueno.com. But yeah, just keep your head up high. If you can get up out that, get your balance, and do what you know how to do if you know how to do it. You know what I'm saying? If you know how to do it. But yo, check out my merch. You know what I mean? This is in a set. This is a sample of my work right here. I did. You know what I mean? It's the SOL merch. You know what I mean? Go support your boy. And with that being said, man, y'all already know, man, it's your boy 050 Bucks, aka Mr. Shoot Right Back, aka the Dark Side General. Don't forget, catch me Bozo of the Week every Friday, 6:00 p.m. Wednesday and Thursday, we put the names in a poll. You know what I mean? So we have fun. Come out. Don't be afraid to come out the bushes. You know what I mean? Don't be afraid that you watching the show. Give a brother a shout out in the comment. You know what I mean? If that's okay with you. You dig? But another dope one. Another one where, I gotta acknowledge, you know what I'm saying, the people who kind of put on for your boy. You know what I mean? Definitely put on for your boy. Guys like my man Renegade Society Production, my guy El Plaga, Trey Pound 7. My man Grown Man Thoughts. When it come down to the dudes, my man 1609. I appreciate that. You know what I mean? The females, you got NY Nikki Baby, you got Asia, them the frontliners, and you got people who frontline, you know what I'm saying, but they know how to, they know how to play the back. Pause. You know what I mean? Again, shout out to the first person who did my intro for me. You know what I mean? Shout out to Butterfly. Shout out to Butterfly. She definitely put on, gave me a dope intro. And shout out for the people who be pulling up, rocking out with your boy, man. You know what I mean? Who don't be number watching. You dig? I definitely appreciate that. Who don't be number watching. You know what I mean? But shout out to that. You dig? Definitely shout out to that. Definitely got to acknowledge the people, that's dead. And, you break it all down. You get them their balls. A lot of people you don't, it's not rare. You get these type of people, you know what I mean? Especially to support you and be a number one fan and do the things where they don't got to make themselves sing. You can't buy that. You know what I mean? You can't buy that. So you can't forget people. You know what I mean? I don't know if I said, you know what I mean? Mo, dope soul. You know what I mean? And I'm, that's why I keep doing what I'm doing on this YouTube joint. I ain't really had nobody come up to me like, yo, you need to stop what you doing. They don't make sense. You ain't doing nothing. You know what I mean? These are people who been with me when I wasn't even monetized. That's a fact. I wasn't even monetized, man. You dig what I mean? So, you got to salute, you know what I mean, the Asians, the moles. I remember, and why Nikki Baby was around, right? And Eve, was like, yo, give my homegirl a wrench. And at that time, I was like, nah, I got one, because I was fairly new. So I didn't really, the things that I was seeing with these wrenches, I like, the wrench is a big deal. You know what I mean? I'm like, I don't want to get no wrench. And these niggas, everybody, yo, mad at me because I took the wrench. Yo, why you? I mean, I didn't want to go through that. So I'm like, damn, you know what? I see the female Asia pop up. I didn't really see her bounce around chat to chat. So I said, damn, you know what? That'd be a dope mod for me. Word up. That'd be a dope mod for me. You know what I mean? So like I said, you got people like Asia, you got people like Mo, you got people like my man Grown Man Thoughts. Now to sit there and tell you constructive criticism and then leave it on me to, intake it, digest it. You know what I mean? So I salute those dudes, man. Word up, salute those dudes. Yeah, I know I can't, and I won't have none of this fancy music background. He also do work dealing with the clothing line. My man Renegade Site Production. You know what I mean? So I got to give big shout outs to my guys. But on that note, man, y'all ready, man? It's your boy 050BUCKS. They came to shoot right back. They came to Dark Side General. Make sure y'all pop out Wednesday. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday is going down. Friday, we picking the bozo of the week. Y'all got to tune in. Y'all already know. If who don't know, the last 2 weeks, the bozo of the week was this person.
Your bozo of the week, Nosy Johnson.
Shout out to my man El Plaga, Trey Pound 7, and my man Renegade Society for that dope, that dope artwork. That was dope. There's going to be more of that. Them two dudes get together. Y'all better watch it. I'm telling you. Y'all better watch it. Shout out to them two dudes, man. I'm trying to speak it into existence, man. Let my guys, what? But yeah, man, that was last week's winner. Twice. He won twice in a row, people. So salute to him for that. Really salute to him for that. You know what I mean? Because he also came with, how would I say, good sportsmanship. Yeah, he came with good sportsmanship, people. You know what I mean? You can't buy that. That was good sportsmanship. I salute him for that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, he won the bozo of the week twice. That's a fact. 2 times. Back to back. Let me say it like that. Back to back. He won bozo of the week back to back. So, on that note, man, salute to y'all again. You know what I mean? I'm about to get up out of here. Make sure on y'all way out, you hit that like button, share the live out, subscribe if you haven't. It's your boy 050BUCKS, aka Mr. Shoot Right Back, aka the Dark Side General. And I'm out.